Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a heartbreaking public holiday for a local small business targeted in an early morning ram raid. The thieves smashed into the Brighton IGA, making off with thousands of dollars worth of cigarettes, leaving a big mess in their wake.
The smashed wreck of this shop door broken off its hinge as a destructive burglary in the heart of the Brighton community leaves staff members devastated.
It's heartbreaking, you know. We've been working really hard to get this up and running. We're really community based, so for us it's really shattering that, you know, someone has the audacity to do this, I suppose.
Police say at around 6 this morning, the empty store was rammed.
A group of people in a stolen white RAV4 crashed into the doors at the IGA at Brighton. Once inside, they've gained entry to the cigarette case and stolen a quantity of cigarettes.
An estimated $8,000 worth of damage was caused. The business says similar crimes have been a burden in the past.
Look, we've had quite a few attempts. Obviously, every time cigarettes go up, it's a real huge problem.
They're very disappointing, and cigarettes seem to be targeted at the moment. So we just want everyone to be aware that if they're offered cheap cigarettes, they're probably stolen. Police
say the vehicle allegedly involved in the incident was found on fire here in the Herdsman's Cove area shortly after, and are now appealing for any witnesses to come forward.
We have a number of witnesses that have seen 2, possibly 3 people running from the burnt-out vehicle heading to the Gagebrook area. Anyone with dash cam or anyone who saw anything that hasn't spoken to us yet, please give us a call. Information can be provided anonymously through Crime Stoppers. Ruby Kamane, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian investment company is moving its attention from Launceston to focus on developments at the opposite end of the state. Local developers say it is becoming increasingly difficult to get projects over the line in the city and are calling for a planning scheme overhaul.
The JAC Group is behind Joseph Cromie Wine's Penny Royal and the Mantra Charles Hotel. But now the developer is looking beyond Launceston as it says it faces roadblocks.
This is disappointing news for Launceston. They're a company that have a very strong record in Launceston and the region of great developments.
The company says it's investing $50 million into housing developments across Hobart because it has no new projects in the pipeline in Launceston. The group's proposed Gorge Hotel was approved by council but was then knocked back by Tasmania's Planning Appeal Tribunal late last year. It's the second major multi-million-dollar development in Launceston not to go ahead in just 3 months. Developer Errol Stewart withdrew his application to build a set of luxury apartment towers, he says, due to difficulties with council regulations.
I think there are too many things, too many hurdles. So I think the state planning scheme might improve that a little, but I think it'll be up to council still to implement it well and to make, you know, the drive through the planning scheme easier.
Industry groups agree.
I think it's time for us to review planning statewide to implement, you know, one location for planning, take it away from local governments.
Launceston City Council has defended its planning processes.
We approved $200 million worth of projects in the last 12 months, and the year before that just a slightly less. So it is working quite well, and there's some significant projects being developed in our city.
But the Mayor says they are currently upgrading planning provisions.
We've obviously been looking at performance criteria. We're looking at steps that we can do to make sure more certainty and it's easier for developers. And that work is coming to a conclusion and should be ready in the next 2 to 3 months.
Launceston's Heritage Not High Rise Group isn't convinced and believes there needs to be better consultation with communities.
I'm sorry, if people like the Jack Group can't do their 40-metre buildings in Launceston, I mean, so be it. I mean, it's not a free-for-all. You know, we do all live here. There are many stakeholders, not just the people who put money into big buildings.
The state government says it will seek to meet with JAC Group to understand its concerns and issues.
When you have major developers walk away from a community because of those planning laws, you know something's wrong.
JAC Group couldn't comment on camera. Letitia Wallace, 7 Tasmania News.
The family of a Queenstown man believed to have been killed in a West Coast mine incident have been targeted by scammers. 44-year-old Cameron Goss is presumed to have died in a collapse at the Henty Gold Mine last week. Now family members have reached out to the public on social media to warn that scammers have opened fake Cameron Goss funeral fund pages. In another bad twist, the frauds set up a fake Facebook account pretending to be the mine worker's wife. Those who have already donated are urged to contact PayPal. The Hobart Hurricanes have brought their Big Bash season back to life, locking in an unlikely finals berth from their win last night. We're going to bring in our reporter Tom Johnson for more on this. An incredible outcome for the side. And there was more drama today, Tom.
Well, it's just remarkable they've made it for one thing, Joe, but what's more, the Canes will play the final in Hobart. It all hinged on the result of today's game between the Brisbane Heat and the Melbourne Renegades. Now, what's happened there, with the Heat losing that match, it means we'll host Thursday night's elimination final at Launceston Arena against the Sydney Thunder. Last night's result really was extraordinary for a number of reasons. Matthew Wade's 130 was the second highest score in Big Bash history. What the team scored, 217, that's the second highest total the Hurricanes have ever put together. But maybe spare a thought for the Adelaide Strikers. What they scored, 207, was actually the highest score they've ever made, and they still lost, so bad luck. So after winning their last 3 games, Joe, we are well and truly on the Cane train. They're playing finals and I can't wait.
Bring out the purple. Thank you very much for that, Tom. Tasmanians are due for an update on the state's budget situation, with the revised estimates report due to be released within the next 3 weeks. Labor says it's worried about the state of our finances and wants the figures made public as soon as possible.
We know the true state of the budget is under pressure. We're heading towards $1 billion in net debt. There's a whole lot of pressure across the state budget and the Tasmanian people need to know the true state of the Tasmanian budget.
In a statement, Premier and Treasurer Peter Gutwein said the report is required to be released by the 15th of February and it will be delivered within that timeframe. A group of Tasmanian hospitality workers have traded the kitchen for the cricket pitch today, joining together in Kangaroo Bay for a fierce and friendly competition. Players had extra motivation to win, with all money raised from player fees and a raffle being donated to charities aiding bushfire recovery efforts interstate.
7 years ago, we did a similar thing for the Denali bushfires. So get the hospitality crew together, chefs, wait staff, and have a friendly cricket match, raise some money.
They hope to raise $5,000 to be split between several organisations. Tasmania's reshuffled ministerial lineup will be made official tomorrow. It's been confirmed the new Premier's cabinet will be sworn in at Government House in the morning. Peter Gutwein announced the changes last week, including a call-up for Jane Howlett to become Minister for Racing, Sport and Recreation. The major portfolios of health and housing remain with existing ministers, while Michael Ferguson will take on finance, as that's split from Peter Gutwein's Treasury portfolio. Traditional dance performances and firecrackers have helped welcome in the Lunar New Year at a festival in Hobart today. But there's a shadow over celebrations here and across the world, with concerns about the coronavirus outbreak.
Welcoming in the Year of the Rat with a bang. Thousands of people gathered on Parliament lawns for the 8th Lunar New Year Festival.
This year we've organised 4 zones of entertainment with 2 stages. We've got a cultural zone, a food zone and a children's kiddie zone, as well as our stage zone.
What's been your favourite part?
I think it was probably the firecrackers.
Crowds were treated to a variety of performances, including music, and traditional dance. Also on offer were different interactive activities for the whole family to enjoy, including food and information stalls, face painting and dragon boat displays. The festival event open to the public, with the aim being to celebrate and share culture.
The bigger majority of our patrons are non-Asians, are the local community. I know the community is very supportive of different cultures, understanding different cultures.
It's been great, just really to immerse yourself in all the culture, and you really get a great insight of everything that's going on. It's been awesome.
We're just having a look round and the food looks really interesting. We're just trying to decide what to eat.
It's been really fun. I've been playing a bit of the games and the food here is really nice actually.
But amid this year's Lunar New Year celebrations, communities here and across the world are coming to terms with the coronavirus outbreak.
The Chinese are very concerned of what's happening in China. It's not a good thing where such diseases come through and have the possibility of impacting the world.
A new year of hope that the situation will improve. Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmanian News.
The Hobart Hurricanes' Big Bash season is back from the dead. The side snatching a spot in the finals following a 10-run win over the Adelaide Strikers. Matthew Wade and Darcy Short did the heavy lifting before Nathan Ellis again closed out the game in fine form. It wasn't just fans getting a move on at Adelaide Oval. Inside the ground,
take that, straight over the fence.
A batting union split for so long was together again, and didn't fans love it?
Brilliant batting. Crowd catch at last. He loves it. Jeez, he's strutting too.
Wade and Short peppered 6 after 6, writing a very different script for a side almost written off.
Sensational century from the skipper. And the cane train is back on the tracks.
More shots cleared the rope. The Strikers were shell-shocked.
Darcy Short gets involved. 25 off the over.
Wade's crusade continued unabated to an unbeaten 130, the second highest score in Big Bash history. 11 fours, 7 sixes. Even applause rang from the South Australian stands. They wouldn't be so kind to George Bailey.
And a drop. What was that?
But the Hurricanes had their measure.
That one's taken.
Clive Rose with the opening scalp. Phil Salt caught in the deep for 66. And when Travis Head headed home,
and gone.
It seemed the Strikers had run out of luck.
Oh, that's very unlucky. Rolling up his back leg and then onto the stumps.
More wickets tumbled, but the Strikers stayed within reach until Nathan Ellis finally shut the door.
Oh, he's gone. Nathan Ellis has had nerves of steel when it counts most.
The Hurricanes are in the finals. Who would have thought?
Probably helped getting towards the end of the tournament. It's been a pretty constant thing for us for the last 4 games. We've had to win games of cricket and, thankfully we got the job done today.
The win means the Hurricanes will host the Sydney Thunder in an elimination final at Launceston Arena on Thursday night. If they win, they'll go on to play the Adelaide Strikers, while the Melbourne Stars can qualify directly for the grand final and claim hosting rights with a win over the Sydney Sixers at the MCG on Friday night. Well, they've come from the US, Europe and Asia. Some of the world's most promising tennis prospects today taking to the court for the Burnie International. Organisers say the event has become essential for budding players looking to take their career to the elite level.
Slamming into action, tennis talents from all corners of the globe stepping on court for the Burnie International.
This is a challenger tour, so we have players around that top 100 mark that are competing.
The 6-day tournament has become a breeding ground for the next generation of household names. Past winners include John Millman, Bernard Tomic and Daria Gavrilova.
Especially coming off the Grand Slam, there's a lot of well-known players who come to play.
Aside from the world ranking points, there's another driver for success. First prize is $80,000 in the men's draw and $60,000 in the women's. After a year riddled with injury setbacks, Aussie Jason Kubler today won his first match in 7 months. Now looming as an early title favourite.
It's awesome to be back in a place that I've had success before. I think I made semi-final two years ago.
Tasmania's highest-ranked men's player, Harry Boucher, is also back playing on home soil after battling in last week's Australian Open qualifiers in Melbourne.
So I'm defending quarterfinals here last year, so yeah, I always play pretty well here, pretty relaxed.
The competition will run until Sunday, with entry a gold coin donation.
It all goes to supporting the club and their development as well, so really do encourage people to come down and see some great tennis and some great players on the court.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmanian News.
Welcome back. Friendly beaches reached the state's top temperature today with 23 degrees. 21 in Hobart and Burnie, a top of 20 in Launceston and Devonport. Grove and Bushy Park reached 21, 20 at Maria Island and Smithton, 19 at St Helens, King Island and Flinders Island, 18 in Lowhead and Strawn and a top of 16 in Lyawini. Amid a high-level cloud band moved off the north and east coast today, low cloud moved over the south and west of the state. Scattered cloud over the Southern Ocean, a few thunderstorms over New South Wales and a low over the north of Queensland produced low-level cloud. Tomorrow shows a ridge extending over Victoria and South Australia. The monsoon trough is active over northern Queensland and the top end. West to northwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, 20 to 30 knots in the south. Seas mostly 1 to 2 metres. There's a strong wind warning in place for southern coastal waters from Tasman Island to Low Rocky Point. Tomorrow partly cloudy and 23 in Hobart, 23 in possible showers at Adventure Bay, 17 in Tarraleah. Launceston partly cloudy in 24, 23 in Devonport and partly cloudy in Bridport. Burnie a top of 22, 19 in showers in Strawn, 19 in Marrawar also. St Helens and Swansea reaching 25 and 21 and partly cloudy in Whitemark. UV reaching 10 and 11, which is very high and extreme. On Wednesday, fine apart from showers about the west and far south during the morning and afternoon. Hot and mostly sunny with northwesterly winds on Thursday and very hot on Friday with showers developing in the west in the afternoon and evening. Sunny and 31 in Adelaide tomorrow, Perth sunny 33, 23 Melbourne, Sydney a shower or two, 30 there, 35 in Canberra and Brisbane a top of 31 and partly cloudy. And it's currently 22 in Hobart, 19 in Launceston and 19 in Devonport. Back to you, Joe.